And Jeff, I know you've been hearing a lot of the noise going on about Assassin's Creed Shadows. Okay. Yeah. First and foremost, okay, the uproar, backlash, all of those things happening within Assassin's Creed Shadows before it even launched was I'm trying to remember like the last time I saw a game.
They got so much hate.
Yeah, like when do you think? I mean, the only thing I can even really vaguely remember being just so hated before the game launched was Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. That game it's one of the most disliked trailers when it was released on YouTube. It was so hated.
I think the main reason why that AW was so hated is because it kind of looked like a Titanfall copy and paste.
Yeah, I think and people were sick and tired of the jetpacks. You know, it was the third game within the jetpack era.
That's what made Call of Duty different from Titanfall was hyper movement X gunfight.
Yeah. And so, yeah, when Infinite Warfare came out, it was like people wanted to go back to boots on the ground, no more jetpacks, and they decided to continue. And
I don't think that was smart.
I
don't think that was smart.
It got a ton of hate, and I didn't think, in all honesty, I didn't think that the game was like terrible. I didn't think it was the worst jetpack game that Activision greenlit, but the community spoke, and the developers did not listen to what the community wanted. And so that leads us here with Assassin's Creed Shadows because, people had been wanting this setting for a while, like a Japanese style Assassin's Creed. And they wanted this. And I don't know what it is, Jeff. Do you think that people are, they were kind of brushing this one to the side and kind of just talking a lot of talk because of the comparisons to like Ghost of Tsushima, or what do you think it is that is, obviously we talked about this on episode 2. We talked about how a lot of games, which one? Oh, it was Monster Hunter Wilds. We were talking about how IGN had it at a 4 and then they changed it to an 8. And like now I believe IGN gave Assassin's Creed Shadows an 8, and a lot of people just the backlash is unreal.
I don't trust anything IGN says after they said the finale of Invincible was bad. I refuse to listen to anything that they say anymore.
Yeah, it was so like just really. It's a really tough situation because I don't know all of the, all the intricacies of what people are complaining about, especially over in Japan. They are just complaining about a lot of ways that they portrayed things within Shadows, first and foremost. For me, it's more about, okay, like, yes, it's important to be correct when it comes to historical events, but at the same time, it's a video game. Set in that time period, and it's fictitious.
Well, the whole thing that I've heard about Assassin's Creed is that it's never been historically accurate. It's always been historically inspired.
Right.
And I think that's a good way to keep looking at it because it's what it has been. But the main thing that I think people are always complaining about Assassin's Creed is, especially nowadays, is it's not the same as like the old games. It's like it's so different to what the original like 4 Assassin's Creeds were about, which is fine, but it's too drastic of a change in my opinion.
Yeah, it's really tough because when they went away from Altair in the first one, then they went away from Ezio. I feel like not that it lost me. Because, I mean, we're going to talk about Black Flag, which I believe is,
arguably the best Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah, I don't even know. Is it even, like, arguable at this point? I think that it was by far and away. Well, I mean, I guess you could say that there were a couple of them, like Revelations was really good. The first one was really good.
Syndicate, I actually enjoyed. I did enjoy, like, the Syndicate aspect of having 2 characters you can play as. I think that was very cool. Not to mention, like, those 2 people play off each other in a very nice way. And it also is in a very important time in history, the Industrial Revolution.
Yep.
It was a good thing. The only thing I'll say that I'll complain about Syndicate is there's no co-op. Which, to be fair, after the absolute disaster that Unity was, I can see why they didn't do it.
Was Syndicate the one that they introduced a multiplayer, or was that Unity?
No, it went Assassin's Creed 1, 2, 3, 4, then and then Rogue, Assassin's Creed Rogue, or whatever one, the one where you actually play with the Templars, that one assassin in black. Yeah. Then after that came Unity, which, be honest, Unity, like on writing, is a really good idea. That a lot of people have always like, man, I want to play Assassin's Creed with my buddy. We can dual takedown people, all that type of stuff. But it was just executed in not the best way, to the point where I think they just completely scrapped any future idea of doing co-op for Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. And then there was Brotherhood. Was Brotherhood one of them?
That's the Rogue one.
That was Rogue. Okay.
That's
okay.
Rogue.
I was trying to remember which one. Okay. Yeah. So getting back to Assassin's Creed Shadows, one of the complaints is you have one character, and I'm not even going to try to say their names. I've heard it a number of times, like from streamers. Nasuke?
Yeah, Yasuke. That's
Yasuke. And what was the other one?
I forget her name.
Neo or something?
Yeah, it's like Neo or Neo and Yasuke. I think that actually is what they're called.
Well, so the female, she seems to be more of like an assassin.
Yes.
Stealth assassin.
Which is cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yasuke is a little bit different because he's very tanky.
Yes.
Right?
And so
a lot of people
too. He's built like a tank.
He's monstrous. And so they play differently, which in reality they should play differently. But a lot of people are complaining about this where it just some people are saying that when you're playing as Yasuke, it almost takes you out of the experience because it just doesn't feel like an Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
And so, does Shadows have co-op, by the way?
I don't think so. I don't think about it.
I don't think it does either. And so, to me, though, just from an outside perspective looking in, have you played it yet?
No, I have not.
Okay, I haven't either. And so I've just been watching streamers. I've been watching game footage.
I've been watching multiple people talk about it because once you text me about like, hey, this is what we're gonna be talking about on the podcast, I was like, let me do some research. I don't have enough time or enough storage space in my Xbox to download it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still remember that 6 hours to download Gears. My God.
Dude, that's wild. Wait, is it finally downloaded?
Yeah, it's downloaded now. But yeah, I was looking at multiple people saying, like, multiple people complaining about it, and I still don't get it. It's a game at the end of the day. Like, if you're going to complain about it, at least play it.
Yeah.
That's my honest opinion about anybody who has, like, criticism against any games. Like, I always ask them, have you played it? And if they say no, I'm not going to listen to you.
Right. No, 100%. And I think that...
And another thing with both Yasuke and whatever her name is.
Yeah.
I did that in Syndicate. I built one character for stealth. I built one character for brawls, because there were two aspects of Syndicate that you had. You had one where you were kind of stealthy. You had to do assassination and all that type of stuff. And then there was the gang aspect of it, because you had to run a gang in Syndicate. So I was like, okay, so I'm gonna need somebody who's gonna be up front and not really tanky, but more just a heavy hitter who's gonna be pulling a lot of attention. Where I have another character who's built around stealth, because in that game, I'm sure they have like a skill tree where you can actually pick and choose which ones, like how you want to do it.
Yeah,
you can either build one stealthy and do more damage, but you can also, if you lean into like what they're good at in their skills, they do some good shit.
Yeah. Without playing it, from what you're seeing from other people playing it or game footage and stuff, do you think that it deserved the backlash it got?
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I don't either. And I mean, obviously now, guys, we haven't played it yet.
Yeah,
but...
I might change my opinion whenever I do play it, because I might clock in a couple hours, because again, it's on Ubisoft Plus. I'll give it a shot just for giving it a shot.
Yeah.
But just from what I've seen, I don't get the backlash. I don't get it.
Yeah. It seems to me like it's
almost forced.
It does feel a little bit like the community within Assassin's Creed is really divided on exactly what they want. Maybe what they want. I don't know. And you know what? This stems back, though, Jeff, at least to me, Assassin's Creed, I believe, well, at least at first, when it was kind of just getting started with those first 4 titles, man, were they on a roll.
Oh, yeah,
they were absolutely rolling. And I don't know what happened and what Ubisoft was kind of thinking with some of like the titles that started coming after. It's not like all of them were bad.
Honestly, I think I know what it is.
They tried to chase COD.
No, no.
Like the yearly release, or they were releasing like 2 games a year.
That was always just, that's AAA's mistake in general.
Yeah,
it's just like they release a game every year, every 2 years. They have no time to grow. But I think the main thing is the actual IP. Is because with a name like Assassin's Creed, you expect to be stealthy. You expect to be kind of like outwitting your opponents who are stronger than you, or overall just developing combat in a different way. I think the main thing is that it's so different. If I got a feeling it would never have gotten, or any of the other recent Assassin's Creed games like Valhalla, Odyssey was pretty good from what I heard, and Shadows now, is that it's labeled as an Assassin's Creed game.
And in reality,
it's so different for what Assassin's Creed was. You can't really call it Assassin's Creed anymore.
Yeah, like why, to me, they
should split it, in my opinion. Like there should be a branch of Split where
it's like what, spin-offs or
Yeah, well, not really spin-offs, more like games in the same universe is what I'm trying to say.
I see.
Have Assassin's Creed being the more stealthier type games, because a lot of people like stealth games. I
see what you're saying. Yeah.
And then have more of a, I would say more melee focused, like Split. Instead of trying to mesh them into one.
I see. So you're kind of thinking like something almost like Apex Legends and Titanfall.
Yes,
exactly. How you got like a battle royale, and then you got this other one that's got like all these other different game modes.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's the best way to describe it, is just to have a nice split of the in-game universe. Because
to me, I actually didn't mind Valhalla, but half the time I'm like, wait a minute, am I playing an Assassin's Creed right now?
Yes, exactly.
Because what I think they should have done, at least to me, was have an actual assassin in that time where you're amongst Vikings and you're assassinating like higher ups within the Viking tribes or whatever. I think that could have been really compelling, but they just went. It just didn't. Yeah, you're right. It didn't. There's a lot of the games within Assassin's Creed that you can point to and say,
"Is this really an Assassin's Creed game?"
Right. And so yeah, it's tough, man. I don't know. I think that Shadows definitely got a lot of backlash. That maybe some of it was deserved, but I think a lot of it was not. And I also think that the ratings or the reviews, it's interesting because I hear the two extremes. It's either a 10 out of 10 or a 1 out of 10.
There's no middle ground.
There's like no middle ground. And that's why when I heard Asmongold, he talked about his review, he's like, guys, I'm going to give you an honest opinion of this. It is not a 9. It's not a 10. It's not a 1. It's not a 2. It's not a 3. It is a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was saying that
that's a fair rating.
It's like, a fair rating. And he gave pros and cons to it. And I love that. Now, what's interesting is there's a lot of rumors and reports going out that Assassin's Creed Shadows, a lot of people were asking, is this going to be the start of a new trilogy? And there's things going like through the pipeline, rumors and rumblings that it's not the start of a new trilogy, that they're actually working on a number of other Assassin's Creed titles right now. It's apparently not going to be the start of a new trilogy. And in reality, it's probably a good thing it's not, because if you had all this backlash about Shadows, and it probably, at least from what I've been hearing and what I'm seeing like on Steam charts, the viewership, or I should say the player count, is even lower than like Veilguard when it first came out.
Oof.
It's bad.
That is not good.
Not good at all. And so there's a lot of concern that like Ubisoft, they already were in kind of a rough spot. And now this is really putting them in a difficult position where they may have to go off of the stock market, become a private company. I mean, it's a whole, I believe if they made this a new trilogy, it could be a complete disaster, whether it's like them or the community. Like the community is really playing, and I guess just narratives that are going around are really playing a part of this.
Yeah.
So
honestly, what I think Ubisoft needs to do at this point is try something different, because what you're doing now isn't working. I mean, you have two very successful IPs in both Siege and For Honor. Not to mention y'all got Siege, what's it fucking called? Siege Zero, whatever it's called.
Or X.
Yeah, Siege X. You got Siege X coming out soon. I think, honestly, y'all need a new IP. Y'all need a new IP soon, because if you become so reliant on the microtransactions that Siege pulls out and the dedicated fans that For Honor has, y'all are kind of screwed. Keep it a buck.
Yeah. Well, they had a new IP and they shut it down in X Defiant.
I know.
Like,
well, it wasn't really a new IP. It was more just a combination of their old IPs. It was like, this is smart. This was good on you guys. But the problem is, y'all released it the same week Black Ops 6 beta came out.
Yeah, no.
Wasn't smart.
No, not at all. But that all being said, guys, we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. For those of you who have been playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, or if you've just been watching Assassin's Creed Shadows in terms of gameplay, streamers, and things of that nature, what are your guys' thoughts about AC Shadows? I'd love to hear your thoughts about it in the comment section down below, and let us know your thoughts.